The voice, the profile, the hard-won skill with the camera and in the cutting room, and most of all, the touch of a master storyteller, a man who changed Hollywood, Alfred Hitchcock.
Second take. The light is much better on the hands.
Only cut back to Janet once the car's already moving.
Cut it tighter.
Oh, you imp, you've got nudity in there.
Well, her breasts were rather large, but it was a challenge not to show them.
Hitchcock is the subject and the title of a new film starring Anthony Hopkins as the master of suspense and horror. To tell us about her favorite Hitchcock movies is Dana Stevens, film critic for Slate.com, who's back with us again. Also with us is Matt Singer, film critic for IndieWire.com. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've both seen this film. First of all, what do you think of Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Alfred Hitchcock?
It's a good performance. I think if you're going just for the performances in this case, I think you'll be pretty satisfied. He's very good. Helen Mirren is very good. I actually really liked Scarlett Johansson playing Janet Leigh, the star of Psycho as well.
Yeah, there's some smart casting in the movie, but I think Matt and I both agree that it's a little underwhelming as a film. It's a minor success. It's a minor biopic. It's not going to teach you anything grandly new about Hitchcock.
We asked you both to name your top 3 movies in honoring Mr. Hitchcock. Dana, let's start with you. Your third favorite film, you said, was the 1951 thriller Strangers on a Train. Why'd you pick that one?
You know, this was a tough decision, and I almost put Shadow of a Doubt, which I think is a similar movie, in this spot. But Strangers on a Train is just such a perfect suspense movie. It's just so compact. It's kind of got it all. And it's the story of 2 strangers on a train, 2 guys who meet on a train. And because of the evil machinations of one of the 2 men, played by Robert Walker, they decide to trade murders. They're each going to kill somebody for the other guy so that they'll have no apparent motive for the murder.
Classic.
And it's just a real beauty.
Matt, your number 3 pick was a 1935 British film called The 39 Steps, which I haven't seen. I'm not sure I even heard of that. Why'd you choose that one?
Well, that's part of why I chose it. I wanted to pick something a little more obscure. If you like his later movies, this one is sort of where they all kind of first came together. You've got the classic wrong man who's been accused of a crime he didn't commit. You have an icy blonde, and they're on the run, and they're looking for this MacGuffin, the Hitchcock trademark of the plot device that everyone's looking for and no one really understands. And if you like the later movies like North by Northwest, I think this is one that kind of shows you where that all kind of came together for the first time.
Dana, your number 2 is, I think, on a lot of people's list, Rear Window, the 1954 film with Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly.
Absolutely. Rear Window is not an obscure pick at all. It's a classic that everybody loves. But when I just think about the Hitchcock movie that has it all and is maybe just the most purely pleasurable to watch, with just romance and suspense and incredible colors and amazing production design with that building that they can see everything going on across the street, not just the murder, but all the stories of the neighbors. It's just a wonderful movie.
And Matt, your number 2 is The Birds.
Yes.
Which I think for many people was like the first really scary Hollywood experience.
I mean, might be one of the scariest movies of all time, not
really
just that
is.
Hitchcock made. And I heard you saying how they never explain
Why the
birds attack. And that's what makes it so scary. We never find out. You know, it becomes this larger-than-life struggle. It's not just a couple of people on the run from birds. It's almost like this grand story of man versus nature and how that can be really the most terrifying thing of all.
And number 1, Dana, your all-time favorite 1958 Vertigo, starring Jimmy Stewart, I think widely regarded really as Hitchcock's best by many people.
Yeah, I mean, this is really the least obscure Hitchcock pick you could possibly make. It was actually just recently voted the greatest movie of all time by the British Film Institute. Vertigo just is truly, I feel like, is the moment that Hitchcock's artistry comes together with some really deep themes, and that he's not only on a technical level achieving a lot of beautiful things, but that he's really telling a profound human story about grief and loss and love. And I feel like if you see one movie in your lifetime, Vertigo is a pretty good candidate for that movie.
And Matt, the top of your list is Psycho. And even with all the technological changes that we've had in horror movies, I mean, that shower scene is still a classic, isn't it?
It is. It might not be as shocking as it was back in 1960, but it's still pretty disturbing. And when you talk about the iconic things in that movie, the shower scene, the score, the Bates Motel, the dialogue, you know, a boy's best friend is his mother. Most directors would be lucky to have that many iconic moments in their entire careers, and Hitchcock had them in just that one movie. I mean, Vertigo's a great movie. I think Psycho is right up there.
How influential is Hitchcock ultimately, do you think?
He's hugely influential.
It seems like he's everywhere, right? I mean, really notably in directors like Brian De Palma, who are doing kind of ersatz Hitchcock, but he's really in anybody who's trying to scare your pants off. Any suspense filmmaker now, I think, is indebted to him.
All right, Dana Stevens and Matt Singer, thanks so much.
Thank you.